So if you're someone that's been paying for a subscription and you're not quite using the platform, this is the conversation for you. So today I'm going to be walking you through 4 HoneyBook mistakes I see people facing inside of their accounts. Because the hard truth is the system is not the issue, often is our understanding of how to use the platform. You find yourself paying for platforms for things you can actually complete inside of HoneyBook. In fact, you may have had your account now for years and you still haven't used automations, or you're still using the old automations. All of these things are very much so happening when I talk to people. And I see this all the time. What I find is that a lot of people sign up to any platform just for an immediate solution, be it contracts, getting paid, or some type of challenge that they were facing. So year after year, we keep saying to ourselves, I'm going to end up using the platform. I am going to start using all of these cool things inside of HoneyBook, and then you just don't. Let's be honest, running a business and building out a system at the same time can really take top-notch organization to be able to do. So most people just find themselves continuing to piece things together. The issue is that the hidden cost around not running efficiently. If you are not optimizing the platform, you're losing your most valuable asset inside of your business, and that's going to be time. So using HoneyBook or using the system effectively will help you with cutting back on the time of reinventing the wheel each and every time someone's working with you. But here's the good news. I have 4 things that will ultimately help with shifting everything that's going on. So it will not be you rebuilding your whole platform. It's going to be quick fixes so that you are able to start using the platform effectively. So the first thing is that you're still using the old HoneyBook forms. That means you're still using legacy files. Legacy files have been out of date now for at least 3 years. All of the new technology inside of HoneyBook is all going into smart files. Everything is being built around smart files. So if you are wanting to take advantage of any of the other features inside of HoneyBook, you're missing out on any of that if you're still using the old tools. So what I'm going to encourage you to do this week is these 3 things. I want to encourage you to open up Automation 2.0 just to look around. I'm not telling you to build anything. I just want for you to get excited to see what's possible with using their new automations. The second thing is I want for you to pick just one legacy file that you can transition over to a smart file. And I want for you to just rebuild that one. So just pick one that you know that you use often and rebuild it as a smart file. The third thing is I want for you to then apply smart fields into that smart file. And you're like, hold on, Jesse, what is a smart field? So if you do not know what a smart field is, this is a data point inside of HoneyBook that allows for you to ensure that typos aren't happening, mistakes are not happening. So some examples of smart fields that I recommend for people to use are going to be project date, project name, location, start time, end time, because most of you that watch my videos are in the event industry. So you can use project type as one as well. So like if your project types are birthday, wedding, special event, corporate, like you can actually use those smart fields intentionally so that you're allowing for your smart file to be personalized. So an example of this can be you have a proposal, and at the top of your proposal, you can say project name proposal. So it feels as if that proposal was specifically created for that client. So this is why it's helpful for people to use smart fields. This has been a absolute must in any CRM that I've had inside of my event business because typos happen. Humans will human. I make mistakes. So the way that I can avoid making mistakes is allowing for data points inside of my projects to pull into my emails to ensure that the right information is going to my team members and or client. Now, mistake number 2. This is the one that trips most people up. And I understand this. And this doesn't matter if you're new in business or someone that's been around in doing entrepreneurship for some time. And this is the one I see the most. And this is what I really help people with the most. It comes down to your automations. Most people get excited to hear about automations, but a good amount of people just don't understand how to actually implement it inside of their account. And the main reason this happens is because you are used to doing your services however you do them. And what I find when it comes to automations or implementing automations into any platform is that we don't always understand how we do what we do. It's not me saying you don't know what you do. It comes down, if I was to say, what are all of the steps and stages that happen inside of your inquiry process? What happens when someone reaches out? When do you do follow-ups? Do you schedule a consultation? Do you need to have a recap after that consultation? What should the client expect next? What will you be sending to someone? Do you have to do a mock-up? Like all of those things. So if we're not taking the time to think through what are our processes and steps, when we go into HoneyBook and we're so excited about all the really cool things you can do within automations, it becomes very overwhelming. You can never put confusion into any platform. It doesn't matter if it's HoneyBook, Claude, Gemini, or anything. If you do not input the right data, it will never give you the kind of result that you want. So here's the rule: the platform cannot fix what you cannot articulate. You always want to take out a piece of paper and pen and write out your workflow. There's 4 steps and stages that I recommend for every service-based business to do and understand. It's going to be your inquiry process, your onboarding process, your execution process, and your offboarding. But a 5-star experience is going to be considering all 4 parts of that flow. What is going to be happening at each stage is going to be different for each business. So I get why some people say, I try to watch the videos and I can't follow it. Because as someone who's helped a lot of people with their HoneyBook accounts, rarely do you find 2 businesses that do their actual client experience and journey the exact same way. Since that does not happen, it's hard to create a video that's going to show everyone how to do something, because there's going to be 5 people out of 10 that's going to say, no, that's not how I do it. I still can't understand. So here's what I recommend for each and every person. First, go to a piece of paper and pen, write out what you are actually doing, think through the actual steps that are necessary so that you understand what you actually need for your automation. So think through, when do you need payments? Do those payments impact anything inside of your workflow? Understand, when do specific emails go, as well as any tasks that are necessary, small or big. You can have HoneyBook help with supporting you with every component of you executing your services, but you have to think it through for it to know that that needs to happen. And then once you do that, now you can actually go into Automations 2.0 and build out your workflow. Don't fall victim to creating a whole bunch of random emails and smart files, and then you're now trying to go into HoneyBook to build something out, where it's better to actually write it out, know the workflow, then create the emails so that the automation works correctly. So now that we've thought through the workflow, now let's talk about how you're using HoneyBook itself. A lot of HoneyBook users are using it just like some kind of filing cabinet of just random things that you just want to have in one centralized location. So you don't think about HoneyBook as that tool that's going to help you with your entire client experience. So there are 2 features that you're probably overlooking. The first one is going to be workspaces. Every time I do a client build out or audit, I'm always showing them workspaces because no one knows what a workspace is. The best way I can describe workspaces is that these are individual locations inside of a project where you can designate specific contact points to be able to communicate to them only. So instead of creating a workspace or a project with 4 to 5 people in it, adding team members, removing team members. I always recommend for people to create specific workspaces that have a intention. I use this inside of my business every booking that we have. So we have today an event where I have a musician booked and a caterer booked, and then I have a workspace for my client. I will do some screenshots and blur out their information, but inside of the workspace with the client, that's where she's signing a contract or he's signing a contract. I have the reminders, communication, things that are going to help me with supporting the clients. I have automations for that client. Then I have a workspace with the caterer. The workspace with the caterer, that's where I have them sign their booking agreement with me, with the payment terms and what I booked them for. This is also where I have an automation that ensures that I'm sending them their booking reminders, their deposits, their booking sheets. Then I have a workspace for my other vendor, which is the musician. And the great thing about it is that my caterer doesn't see what I'm saying to the musician. The musician doesn't see what I see to the client. Each one of these workspaces are clear and have an intention. There's 4 different workspaces that you can have. One between team members, one through other clients, one for design, and then one for vendors. So that if there's ever a situation that comes up, I can always go back into HoneyBook for a specific booking and see exactly which vendors were booked and what was discussed. And that way you're avoiding any potential errors or mistakes. And the second one that people are often overlooking is a client portal. This one is something that may or may not apply to everyone, but client portals are great for your customers that you need to be able to either get them to complete things. So like for those of you that do weddings, or maybe if you're someone that's watching that's a consultant and the client has to provide you with some logos or documents, you can have them uploaded into HoneyBook in your portal so that they can have this uniform experience. You have the ability to brand your client portal with your colors and a header, as you see, and it also allows for them to have a centralized location to be able to view anything. Just in case you're not aware, you can assign tasks to clients. So a client portal is something that can be a very great value add for high touch business owners that want to have a centralized place where you and your clients can correspond instead of you being text message bandits. So now let's get to the last one, which may be a hot topic for you. And it's going to be about how many smart files you have in your account. So let's call this your smart file graveyard. It's the place where you have started 30 plus smart files and you have completed none. Or you might be someone that doesn't really understand how to use smart files. So you have been creating smart files for every project instead of creating master smart files and pulling them into your project. So long story short, you have a bunch of duplicates and a ton of confusion all inside of your master template area. So you want to have a purpose, an intention, a reason for your smart file. So this is why I talked about earlier in this video to use smart fields. This is why you want to write out your workflow so that you're having the verbiage to speak to whatever is happening at that specific time that you need from your client so that you're communicating in a way that makes the most amount of sense. And the thing is I know that some people that are watching this video right now, you may be a solopreneur, which is fine. But what happens when you have a team member and you have 20 different contracts that are different variations, and then you're asking them to support you and they don't know which one's the right one? In fact, you don't always know what's the right one. So this is why you want to make sure you're clearing out your template section with the ones that you need. And that's why I originally said start with one. If you're someone doing a legacy file and you have a whole bunch of templates that you're no longer using, delete them. Clear out anything that's old. Clear out anything that you no longer serve. If you have services, clear those out too that you're no longer having. Update your smart files. Make sure you have the most accurate information so that it's easy for you to do what you need to do. So it's always looking at how do I do things easier inside of my business. So this is what I recommend for you. Pick at least one contract or proposal template, one brochure, and one questionnaire that you can actually improve, that you will need, and delete anything that is a different variation of either of those three. Start to clean out your smart files so that you're able to work more efficiently. So let's bring this all together. It's time to remove the chaos and get our systems updated. So it's time to face the fact that it's not the platform, it's the fact that we haven't taken on actually improving how efficient we are. And once you handle this, you will no longer feel stuck or overwhelmed with using this platform. So take on these small fixes and bite-sized pieces and start to bring your platform up to 2026 and stop using it like it is 2020. If you've been using HoneyBook for several years and you feel as if you're stuck, or you're someone that's newer to HoneyBook and not quite sure how to optimize it for yourself, I highly recommend for you reaching out to me to learn more about my audit services as well as my system build outs. I love to work with entrepreneurs with improving their efficiency in their operations and infrastructure. So if you're tired of feeling overwhelmed, click on the link inside of my description so that you can learn more. Until the next video, peace.